Hey guys, it's your girl Sylvie, and it is another Friday. It's another Friday where I bring you awesome scholarship grantees to share with you their journey on how they were able to get their scholarships. So you know the drill. Pick up a pen, pick up a paper, jot down their ideas on how they were able to get their scholarships. Get inspired and you go get yourself your own scholarship. So, welcome Mustafa.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Please
Thank you for
introduce
having me.
yourself.
Hello guys, my name is Mustafa Nasiri. I come from Afghanistan, the heart of Asia. I have a scholarship which is called Peace, Promotion and Enhancement of Afghan Capacity for Effective Development. This is a JICA scholarship actually, and Peace is specifically for Afghanistan.
Okay.
Which also has a very clear message, peace,
Okay.
that is to contribute for bringing peace or peace building in Afghanistan.
I see. So this scholarship is only for Afghan nationals.
This peace scholarship is specifically for Afghan nationals.
All right. Okay, so tell me about your journey, how you were able to get this scholarship. Is this the only scholarship you applied for, or have you had a series of scholarships that you've been trying to get it before this one?
No, this is not the only scholarship I applied. I was applying, or I have indeed applied for a series of scholarships from different countries. Actually, I was still in my undergraduate courses. I have not finished. I think I was in my third year that I heard about this scholarship. I was working with the Ministry of. First of all, let me tell you about this scholarship. Then I will explain my story.
Okay.
This scholarship is only for the officials of 8 ministries plus Kabul municipality of Afghanistan. So only the government, either contracted or permanent staff or permanent officials, government officials, who have in some ministries 6 months experience, in some ministries 1 year experience, or in some ministries, like in our case Ministry of Agriculture, 2 years of experience. At least we have 2 years of experience working with the government. Then only we can apply. And this scholarship will be announced in ministries through the Directorate of Human Resource Directorate of every ministry. Yeah. And now I'm gonna tell you my own story.
Yes, please.
Yeah, how
yes,
I applied, how I heard about this scholarship. I was in my third year of undergraduate course that I heard about this scholarship. A team of JICA staff, especially this Peace Scholarship, they came in our ministry and they had an orientation about this scholarship. I attended the orientation, and before that I two other colleagues from my department, they had succeeded getting this scholarship. So I was inspired. And I also had in mind, it was my intention actually to continue my master degree or get my master degree from any other countries outside of Afghanistan.
Okay.
I attended the session and got information, and very clear information about the procedures I have to pass stage by stage or step by step. And then when I came back to my office at my desk, I sat and I changed the password of my computer, Japan 2014. So I set a target for myself. That was 2013. And then I said, okay, next year I will be eligible only by next year. And by next year I will finish my thesis, submit it, and then get my certificates or graduation certificates attested by the Ministry of Higher Education and also Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Then I set a target, Japan 2014, and I was repeating that target every morning when I was opening my computer. So that was a very clear vision, a very clear destination for me. Yeah. And yeah, any question?
Yes. I want to find out, like, all through, because you had this information from these people, but how was the process of applying for it? Like, what were the challenges you faced going through all this process? You had a target, true, but what were the challenges that you faced going through it?
There are many challenges actually. First of all, the first challenge was to compete in the written test inside the ministry, and then you had to pass that written test, and that was quite competitive because I think more than 500 participants they took part, and out of this 500 the share for Ministry of Agriculture was only 60. You had to score very high to get that scholarship. And besides passing or coming into the list of 60 top 60, you had also had to prepare all the required documents, such as your graduation certificate must have been attested by two ministries, Ministry of Higher Education and Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and also our identity card, national identity card that has to be translated into English, and then that is again has to be attested by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and of course my passport, and two very important documents, our personal statement, like something like resume,
Yes.
and also research plan, research study plan.
Yes.
That is very important.
Yes.
You have to be very clear what are you going to study, and what the field you are going to select or choose. That has to be linked with your career, with your degree, career degree, bachelor degree, and also with your work experience.
Oh, I
And
see.
then again, the professor you are going to propose for your supervisor.
True.
That is very important. Many students make mistakes when they are choosing or proposing a professor,
Yeah.
because they are not they are proposing someone who does not have experience in that particular field of study that this candidate is going to study or want to study.
Yeah.
So the professor you want to select or choose as your supervisor, you have to study first of all his background.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah,
important.
that is very important, and see whether he has experience, he has conducted researches in that specific field that you are going to do your research later on, if you are accepted then only or not. That is
Wow.
very important.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did you overcome these challenges, all of this, so many documentation and setting this goal to achieve? How did you overcome these challenges, and what did you learn in the process that students can do each time they are applying for scholarships, and you help them have a better chance to get the scholarship? What did you learn?
First of all, you have to study the guideline. In every scholarship provides very clear and a specific guideline, and you should go through them thoroughly, study them very clearly, and make yourself very clear.
Okay.
Yeah, and then make a checklist with yourself
Yes.
and list
Yes.
all the important documents
Yes.
that are required for that particular scholarship.
That's true.
Yeah, and make sure you have all these required documents. There are many students who want to get a scholarship, and every time they're saying, "Oh, every year I'm applying, but I'm not getting, I'm not successful." But actually, if you ask them, "Okay, what kind of documents did you prepare?" They're saying, "Yeah, these things," but they're not clear. The documents they have, they are not eligible or in accordance to the required list of documents in the guideline of every scholarship. That is to be very clearly studied, and you have to make sure, or at least make yourself very clear in that point. Yeah. Then you should be, especially when now we are talking about Japanese scholarship. Here, the difference between Japanese one and the Western one is that here the studies are very specific, research oriented here. Yeah, it means that your research plan has to be very specific and very clear.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to write your research plan very clearly, and that if a reader reads your research plan, at the first read, he or she should understand what he or she has proposed and what is he or she is going to study. And if that reader is your supervisor or proposed supervisor, Then you should also should have selected or chosen the supervisor that has experience and knowledge and relevant to your proposed study plan. These two are very important.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're able to get your research plan right, and you're able to get the appropriate supervisor for your research that is really specific, then you can, and then follow the guidelines as usual. It can help you have an advantage over all the others that are applying for the scholarship.
Definitely.
All right, so now I'm going to ask you about this scholarship specifically. Like, it's only for Afghan nationals. So how can they get this scholarship? Where is it available in Afghanistan?
Right.
How can they access it? What happens in Afghanistan for people to see the scholarship, apply for the scholarship?
Usually this scholarship will be announced at the end of December or early January. And they can get information about this scholarship through the Facebook page of this scholarship, Peace Scholarship also, and from the Ministry of Higher Education, the website of Ministry of Higher Education. The easiest way is this one. Otherwise, the second option is that it will be announced at different ministries. I say there are 8 ministries that are eligible, or their officials are eligible for getting this scholarship opportunities. And they will announce through their department, human resource department, especially department for capacity building. They will announce, and everybody who are working in those ministries, they will get information about this scholarship. Yeah.
And you said that it goes like through stages. This stages, how difficult is it, and does it get difficult as you go higher and higher, or how does it work?
Yeah, it will get difficult as you go further ahead.
Yes.
The first stage is that you will have to pass a test in your ministry, and then you will be introduced to JICA. Then there are 5 other stages you have to pass. First stage is that you have to attend English language preparatory class or preparation class, IELTS class. That will be offered by JICA for free. You have to attend, and you have to give time. You have to dedicate yourself. If you are going to get a scholarship, you have to give value and priority to those classes offered. You have to attend and prepare yourself, pass the IELTS, and get the required marks. Then there is another preparatory class, mathematics preparation, that is also offered for free by JICA. You have to pass that one also, and there is exam for that also. You should try to get as high mark as possible. 2 stages, 3 stages indeed. And then your documents screening. Your documents will come to Japan. I think there is a committee. They will screen your documents, and in that committee your proposed supervisor is also there, part of that. And they will see whether the documents are eligible, acceptable to your proposed university, and also proposed supervisor or not. After passing this 4th stage, then there is the final stage. Final stage is interview. And in that interview, you will that will be through Skype or video. And you have to pass that interview. That is the final one. If you pass that one, that's it. You can come. You can pack your bag and come back.
All right. So as someone who has applied for many scholarships before you finally got this one, what advice can you give students out there trying, because there are so many students trying to get scholarships? Paying for studies out here is really expensive, so many students try to get scholarships. So what will you advise students to do when they are applying for scholarships, as someone who is experienced and has gotten it?
I see. I think you should dream for that. Dream, and your dream will come true one day. And it's true, actually. I'm not kidding.
Yes.
Yeah, because people always talk about
Japan
dream.
2014. So
yes. You should have a very clear vision. And a goal, a target. You should fix a target. I had a very clear target that it was something like a must for me. You do not say I should get my master's degree from any university abroad. You should change that should into must. Yes. And then when you change for that, then definitely you will move towards that direction. You will struggle and you will prepare, you will cross all the hurdles and obstacles in your way for getting that, reaching towards that must.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
In my case, I applied in 2014 also for Turkish scholarship.
Yes.
Though that time I was not fully graduated from undergraduate courses. I had not finished writing my thesis, and I did not have my documents in my hand. But there are some scholarships who says that those students are eligible who have their undergraduate certificate in their hand currently, or who are to be graduated by this date.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And in my case, that was I had to graduate by that day.
Yeah.
I applied for 2 scholarships,
Yeah.
for Fulbright scholarship of USA and also for Turkish scholarship. I passed for the Turkish scholarship. I didn't get any reply. It means I failed. Yeah,
Okay.
maybe because my research plan was so weak or my document was not ready. Many factors can be behind that.
Yes.
But for the US scholarship, Fulbright, I was invited for the. They had one written test, and that time in 2013 they were taking the PBT TOEFL. I was invited until that stage. It means before that I passed 2 other documents screening procedures. Yeah, I attended the exam and I took the test. But after that, I didn't get any reply, any message. Maybe I scored low. And then I said, okay, no problem. At least I got experience.
Yes.
Never give up.
Yes.
This was an experience for you.
Yes.
And now you have better idea, a clear idea,
Yes.
and you can apply it next time, next
Yes.
year. Then I prepared myself.
Yes.
I went, I took TOEFL preparation course. I passed that. I said without preparation, preparing myself for TOEFL, or without enhancing my English language abilities, I cannot get scholarships. Or even if I get, and my English is poor, if I go to a country where the studies, the textbook, everything is in English, then I will get poor marks in tests in the classes.
That's true.
English,
It's very
here the textbooks are in English. They're not in my mother tongue.
Yes.
So my mother tongue cannot help me here.
Yes. Yes.
And the key for the success or for getting higher marks is English.
Yes. Yes.
So I prepared myself for the TOEFL, and then next year again I applied for Fulbright, for Turkish, and for this one Peace.
Yes.
And I was quite successful. I passed. I was successful, and I went until the final stage in all these 3 scholarships.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I rejected the Turkish one, and I had these 2, Japanese one and Fulbright.
Yes.
And it was a tough decision for me to choose between the 2
Yeah,
best.
JICA and Fulbright. Those
JICA
are
and
all
Fulbright.
powerful scholarships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have a good story for selecting why. Many people ask me, you had Fulbright scholarship.
Yeah.
Why did you choose Japan?
Yes. Yes.
Here also there is a good story behind it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, it is sometimes difficult for students to go through, because sometimes you hear people advise you that, okay, focus on one specific one. But what experience teaches you is that when you have gone through and failed before, and then you come to try, it gives you a better chance to be able to try many, and you can actually have those many because you have had that experience.
Yeah.
So sometimes experience is actually what is going to help you. So if you fail the first time, don't give up. Just keep trying. Take that as a specific experience you have had. Learn from it, just as he learned from it, and he was able to get the 3 scholarships the next time he applied. Thank you so much for coming, Mustafa.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you guys so much for sticking around and listening to Mustafa's story. He told us about his scholarship story. And these ideas he's giving, it is not only for JICA scholarship. No matter the scholarship you are applying for, you can use this information that he has shared with us today, take it and apply it in other other scholarships, and you realize that it will give you an edge. You will be able to be successful in applying for whatever scholarship you are applying for. We thank you so much for coming, and until next Friday, from Mustafa and I, bye bye.